Okay, so we are charting Brent Crude. This is the third video on this I made before, and I showed up here that the pattern right here, you can see right there, these little probes right there. You see a long tail up, and then you see another long tail that's almost identical in body right there, and you see that probe? That was the end of the pattern. Now, when people were reporting on the open that Brent Crude was at record highs and stuff like that, I was like, no, wait a minute. This thing just set a top. And then it sold off. So you can see in my videos, I put it out there. You could see while people were lying, saying that it was going to go up, I was saying, no, this is a pattern right here. It's breaking down right here. You could see it. I mean, this red candle right here almost engulfed that other one, and then it sent out a probe right there. The support and resistance right here is part of my system. It's available through, you send me money through Cashapp. There are no refunds. I send it through email attachment with rules. You get a PDF manual that tells you all the trading patterns. The indicator down at the bottom gives you buy and sell signals. You can see a buy signal right in there. So if you buy the system, you will see why that is a buy signal and the other rules of the system. Now, after the buy signal happened, some support formed right here with the green support bars. The red ones are resistance, and it broke through the resistance. And looking farther back, just looking at the pattern, I drew two horizontal lines right here, and you could see that they are significant. This was a previous failure of this to go up right at that level. It says about 102.92 right there. You can see a little similar probes right there. You see little probe candles right there, two little probe tails out of the candle, and then it broke down, and it had this long consolidation in this area right in here between 97.10 and 102.92. Okay, you have this whole little channel right in here, right in here before the breakout. And yeah, that is a long consolidation before breaking through that area, which was previously resistance. Okay, this resistance was defeated, so it became support. Now my indicator is showing that there's lots of support in here. It keeps going through support, but then this pattern stalled out. The key area right in here is right about there at 111.91. Okay, it has not been able to go up higher than that. So what happened? This thing collapsed. While people were saying this was going to keep going up, I was like, no, it's breaking down. It's breaking down. And I was completely right. It sold off the entire day. Okay, it totally sold off. And you can see it. You can see it in the patterns. Numbers don't lie. Okay, I've studied all kinds of different patterns, Fibonacci theory, and all kinds of stuff like that. If you know how to read the cycles and you're in tune with what the cycles mean, longer cycles, shorter cycles, medium cycles, you have to know the different cycles. You have to know the patterns. Okay, this is definitely a breakdown, and it dropped down where? To the previous resistance slash support right in here, 102.92, and it bounced. And you can see not only did it bounce, it did a long tail right there going down. That's a probe going down, looking for support. This one is looking right, looking for the resistance. It gets bang. It found the resistance right there, 111.91. So now we have this range. We have this range here that we're dealing with now. So now we're in this range here. It is trading above it. It is hitting resistance right there. The indicator, the sell indicator, has now flattened out, and it has started weakening. So there's less thrust going down, and it's right at this resistance. So what we might see is we'll have to wait until open. Right now the markets are quiet. It's 2:44 a.m. on a, what is it now? Is it Friday now? Okay, it's March 20th. I believe it's Friday. I can't see a calendar. So it's 2026 at 2:44 a.m. Okay? So we're right here, just below this resistance. Okay, it has to get above here to break through that previous resistance that is just set up. Okay, all right. So right now it is not trading strong. Okay, it is in a holding stage. Okay, it's right in this area. So what we have here, it does not look as strong as it was before. You might even want to say this is a head and shoulders right here. That could be. It could be like some awkward type of head and shoulders where it's going to break down and start, coming down and hit this projection of the head and shoulders and go below this support area and keep going down if that is the case, if this is a head and shoulders. All right, so the whole point of this is that people were saying that it's in this unstoppable bull rage. I wouldn't call that unstoppable because it has set up support 111.91. What to do here? What to do here? Well, if you were trading long, you'd probably want to be out. What you are doing here is you're watching to see what happens now. So right now we're just kind of like in a holding pattern. We don't know what it's going to do next. It's in this little tiny range right in here. Let's do like a triangle. It's in this little tiny range right in here, right? That has done this little triangle-like pattern right in here. It doesn't want to know. It doesn't know whether it wants to go up or down at this point. It's fighting resistance. It has some support. It just got smashed up here though, and the resistance is still holding up at this point. So if it can get above and close above right in here, okay, if a candle closes above there, and then it starts gaining some momentum, then it could make a stab and go higher. So right now we're just going to watch and see what happens. So at 2:46 a.m. Eastern time, it's not a good time for it to have strength. So we have to wait and see till other markets open, till Europe picks up, till the United States picks up. The United States open is not till, what is the open? It's at 9:30 a.m., right? Eastern, is it 9? Yeah, 9:30 Eastern to, I think it's 9:30 Eastern. I can't even think these days. And I'm so bad with numbers. It makes you wonder how I can successfully spot patterns trading to do with numbers. Because I don't. I'm a visual thinker. I'm a dyslexic. I don't see numbers. I see patterns. So that's why I sound so awkward when I talk about stuff that has to do with math or numbers. I'm just looking at patterns. And the patterns are what make you money. The breakouts are what make you money. Now, when you can spot the pattern, that's when you can start trading. If you can't spot the pattern, then you're not able to trade. So another pattern that the system offered right there, this one little pattern, it's really hard to see. That's what I call the symbol of death. When you see a signal like that and then it just cuts, in my system anyway, that means you go long. That doesn't mean you go short right here because there's a little signal to sell. That means you go long right there and you get it, you stick it because there's a big spring up. It's a failed reversal. It's a failed reversal signal. It's included in the system in the manual, the PDF manual. $500 for the system. You could get that super powerful signal. It's a visual signal. You got to know how to trade it. Do your practice trades first. And if you're successful practice trading, then you can consider going live. Trading is not for everyone. It's very hard to do. And, I do not like trading oil. I'm just showing it because that's the big story. I personally not a fan of trading oil, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. So a lot of people are talking about Brent crude. Well, what the U.S. market uses is WTI oil. That is not above 100, okay? So you could see that this resistance right here, that is holding up right in here. This is a really strong area of resistance, okay? Right in here, you can see this thing has topped out many times at 99.69. Will it go above 100 for WTI? WTI is the question, and a lot of people are saying oil is above 100. Well, actually, oil, when you just say oil is above 100, that's a false statement. Brent is above 100. Brent is the one above 100. Oil, when you just say oil, well, most people are thinking WTI, all right? And when you say Brent, that's a different type of oil, Brent crude, okay? That's what non-US markets are generally are pricing their oil off of. The US oil is below 100. And you can see the resistance. You can see the resistance. You have a huge pattern right here. You can just obviously see it without even drawing lines. Right in here, you could obviously see this is a huge pattern right in here. All right? And what that's saying is it's in a pattern. It's in a holding stage. It is having trouble going above 99 and getting to 100. Okay? This does not look like a strong bull market to me. But because of the Straits of Hormuz that controls, I think it's 20% of the oil in the world, Brent crude is the one that broke out of this pattern back in here. Okay, so for a fundamental reason, it increased its demand because of manipulation of the transportation of oil in that region. That has a lot to do with 20% of oil, in this case Brent oil, being transported through that area. And that's what we're looking at. We're not necessarily looking at a lack of oil, but the lack of oil being caused by the Straits of Hormuz being closed down by Iran because they're getting revenge on the United States over the war and after they killed all kinds of people and stuff like that. And, whatever your feelings are about this, it's obviously wrong for them to shut down the Straits of Hormuz and punish the entire world and also their own neighbors, they even like other Muslims, they're attacking them. It's just stupid and pathetic, and I just have no sympathy for them. So anyway, especially after they probably killed tens of thousands of their own people. It's just disgusting. We have to just admit that. If you can't admit that, you can't really talk about human rights because they killed their own people. They're literally killing their own people because there are people out there protesting on the streets. So that's the situation there. But that's what it's doing in the markets right now. And you can see it mathematically, but also it's kind of like an artificial thing that's going on. Taking what would be peacetime, so to speak, transportation of oil. And that's the deal. That is the deal. Quick look at the SPY. The S&P has just been breaking down. I mean, look at this. Look at this. You see all these little triangle moves here. There's just all kinds of them. It's just like, yeah, I see them all over, right? It's just kind of like channeling down. See all kinds of little triangles. What we have here is this thing just doesn't want to go up. And eventually it's going to find some footing, right? And go up. So that's where we're at here. But this thing has given all kinds of signals which trader can make money off of. There's a nice hourly signal on the SPY right there to sell. And it pans out. So if you watch your support and resistance bars right there, and then you have it kind of forming a base down in here, and it sends a probe up, but the candle is unable to close above the resistance. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And so if you're interested in the system, the information to send me the cash through Cashapp is in the YouTube information section of the video. And again, no refunds, but if you're interested in the system, you get the trading rules, you get the system that works on whatever your broker will feed you in MetaTrader. All right. So that's the deal. That's the end of the video. Have a good one.